This is a Sig MPX, little tiny 9mm semi-automatic built off of Sig's take on the AR platform. Works just like an AR pretty much. Does have a silencer co suppressor on it. So I've never shot one of these before. Never shot one suppressed for that matter. And this is also the first time I'm using one of these big reflex sights from Sightmark. So that's interesting as well. See what happens. Put my eye protection on, because you know, safety third. I picked up the gun, I loaded the gun, safety third. Charging handle works just like the standard AR. And you know, as normal with these things, until the suppressor sort of warms up, fills up, it's not necessarily super quiet. Sounds really nice. So it shoots really nice, as you might expect. It's relatively heavy for what it is, for a 9mm. So one of the things to talk about with this is whether or not a pistol caliber carbine, right, a pistol caliber long gun, if you will, whether this is configured as a pistol officially or not, I'm not sure. It came out of their rental. So it could be technically, right, because it's short, it could be a pistol with a brace, but this looks like it's an official actual stock. So we've got actually set up here as a maybe an SBR, and then because it's got the suppressor on it as well. Now, depending on what state you're in, this configuration may or may not be legal. This setup may or may not be legal. Obviously, there's a lot of places where you could have this configuration, but you couldn't have the suppressor. Maybe an NFA stamp, maybe something set up like this, and maybe not an MPX, but something set up as a 9mm type AR firearm. And is that a good idea or not for home defense? This comes up a lot, right? I don't have any problem with something like this as a home defense gun. A lot of people say, well, gee, Rob, why would you want to trust a 9mm? Well, the fact of the matter is I'm walking around all the time with a 9mm, right? So if I'm working out in the public space or walking around in the public space, obviously law enforcement works in the public space a lot, the military in the public space with handguns that carry 9mm rounds, and we're trusting that we can defend ourselves or those that we care about with this little compact 9mm handgun, holds 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds, something like that, a 4-inch barrel, short sight radius. Why would I not think that I could defend myself and my family inside of my home with that same type of 9mm ammunition, but now coming out of an 8, 9, 10, 12, 16-inch barrel with 4 points of contact, giving me a lot more control, right? So I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan of the idea of when I could have 5.56 having a 9mm, but I would never dismiss the idea. Let me go ahead and give you guys this little different angle. You can see what's going on here while I shoot this thing. How's that look? Pretty good? All right, let's see. Maybe you'll go for some of those small numbers. I think what we have here is this thing is not perfectly zeroed, but it's a rental gun, so that makes sense. So there we go. Figured out where it is. I don't know if you guys could even see those shots. I didn't have to tell you it wasn't zeroed. I could have just told you they're all perfect and amazing. Very easy to shoot fast, again, because it is super heavy for what it is, for what it's doing with the 9mm, especially with that suppressor on it, right? So, cool. MPX, first time I've shot one. Pistol caliber carbines, or carbine configuration, pistol caliber pistols with braces, however you want to think about it, suppressed with a red dot. Probably a really solid option for home defense. For a patrol carbine, probably not as much, but again, we trust these 9mm handguns. We should seriously think about not being critical of someone who wants to trust a 9mm in this configuration, much more controllable, obviously, and that round is going to be moving a little faster, so it has a little more energy than it does out of the subcompact barrel.